And we are live. We are back. We are here with a brand new tournament with the Demi SEA Weekly, the very first edition. I am Light_VIP, and with me is the lovely, the wonderful JettAlyx.
Hey, what's up? You know, yeah, like the axle in the car and jet like the plane, you know? Yeah. Feeling good. Excited to be casting again. It's always a pleasure casting with you, Mr. Light.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time we casted was on my channel, Milk vs. Yaku. Is that...
No. It was DreamHack China group.
Oh, China! Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
that was one hell of a cast, I tell you what.
I'm never gonna forget coffee. Just saying. Just.
Oh my god. His builds were iconic. But regardless of that, Light, rolling into our first game.
Yeah, we're getting into our first game, and just, you know, to explain to the people a little bit, this is a brand new bi-weekly tournament that Demi himself has started. Demi, of course, being one of the best Zerg players in all of Southeast Asia. He's an Indian player.
Yes,
and yeah, it's really cool that he's actually taking the initiative to start the tournament.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is my bit for today. I don't know why I like that so much.
Oh boy. And do you wanna take it away?
Sure. Yeah, well, here we are on ice. LE, of course, if you were not aware, stands for language emancipation. It's like, you know, when like those goddamn British colonials are coming to your country and you're like, I want to emancipate my native peoples, preserve the language, you know? It's a language emancipation. I don't think that's what emancipation means. Anyway, spawning in the... Whoops, that's the wrong button. Let me make sure I'm like following your camera. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Protoss player hailing from Australia, playing for the team Fight for Justice. We have a player we're very familiar with, whose name is StarDuck.
And spawning in at the top right-hand corner of Ice and Chrome LE is his opponent, the Zerg player representing GDA team, as well as hailing from the land of Singapore. It is Nameless.
Here we go. PvZ. What a way to start it off. You know, it's a classic matchup. There's a little tazy boy. It's Michael Reeves tasing the hatchery.
Oh god.
You know?
Of course, you're someone who watches Michael Reeves. This makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I enjoy chaos, I enjoy nerdy shit, and I enjoy torturing people with tasers. What's not to love about Michael Reeves?
He's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's art. It's art.
It's something.
It's art powered by tasers.
Oh god. And these two players, you were talking about StarDuck, Nameless as well. I'm pretty sure you must have casted them because they've played in a lot of MSOs.
I'm sure I have. Yeah, but I haven't casted him as much as I've casted StarDuck. That's definitely a thing. God, I love casting StarDuck's games. They're always, it's like either you get something you completely don't expect, or you get something that's standard yet you still don't expect it.
Right? That's why you don't expect it, because it's standard. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's like, you know, Phoenix classes? No. Carrier classes, dude. That's the optimal way to play PvT.
Exactly.
I mean, like, who needs Phoenix classes? That's some boomer shit. That's like Wings of Liberty builds right there.
Exactly.
No. We're here for the carrier colossus, all right? This is 2020. This is Legacy of the Void. We're going carrier colossus. End game at 7 minutes in the game.
I think something they have to remember is that obviously, you know, we have had the new Void Ray patch, so we're going to see Void Ray Colossus into carriers. It's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. Void Rays are like just a better Phoenix at this point. Though, of course, Phoenixes are very useful in PvT. Like, you can pick up tanks. You can chase away medevacs. Like, that's why Phoenix Colossus works so well. It's the utility of the Phoenixes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And we do see that this is a pretty interesting opener. In recent times, like Protoss players, they either go for like a Twilight Council opener or a Stargate opener, but we're having none of that here.
Yeah, he's going Robo Bay, which is definitely interesting. This is either Colossus or Disruptor, obviously, but I have a feeling that this is a Colossus drop. If like the first thing he starts building is Warp Prism speed, it's most likely a Colossus drop. Yeah.
Oh,
yep, he cancels it, goes for the Warp Prism speed.
all right, here we go. And I mean, that extended thermal lance may be a tell that he's going to be going for Colossus, or he just fumbled a little bit. But regardless, this is going to be great.
Never mind. This is why in the play-by-play, I can't read builds. This is why I'm not a color caster.
It's beautiful.
This is why when I started looking for you know, bigger casting gigs, than not to say this is like an insignificant thing, but like I'm talking like ESLs and shit, right? When I'm making like millions casting StarCraft, you know, that thing that StarCraft casters do.
Yeah, millions.
My casting reel has no analysis whatsoever. It's just me yelling. That's what I send to every potential employer. It's just me yelling at the video game. You
know what though? It's what the people want. It's what the people want.
I mean, it's my entire content is me being loud.
Exactly. And we're going to be seeing a lot of that here because we do have the double disruptor play. Nameless, he has not. Oh no, sorry, he has scouted the robotic spade.
He did. He saw it with the Ovi earlier in the game. I was trying to remember the unit name. I play this game, I swear. I'm a Zerg player, I promise. But yeah, disruptor drop gonna be coming in. Pretty threatening. You have to be pretty on point. The advantage of a disruptor drop is that you can't just target down the disruptor when it's firing at you, because you can just pick it back up. Yeah, and micro against disruptors takes quite a bit of focus, and obviously that can disrupt your macro, that can disrupt your positioning, things like that. When you're just trying to split.
Yeah, definitely. It can be so difficult to do, and this is interesting because we have 2 disruptors and then straight into Colossus behind this, so he's going to be already diversifying his AoE and...
Ooh, 6 drones already. It's not bad. Gonna get the Warp Prism out real quick. There's the Army of Queens rise. Karen! What is that? Why is it flying away? I can't do that voice anymore. I don't, my throat is not functional. Oh! Ooh, it's a pretty decent chunk there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's getting out. Oh, nope, he's not. Oh, pick it up. StarDuck. Okay,
God.
He's good. The Warp Prism.
Jeez.
That is like 500 gas right there. That Warp Prism and its contents are just 500 gas alone, and that's you don't want to lose that. Queens.
Exactly.
Minerals.
Yeah, like StarDuck's already gotten some decent shots off, like on drones and on army, but like not really any like gas reliant units. So
yeah, he's not gotten anything expensive is the thing. Like that's the advantage of Zerg in this situation. It's just having a crap ton of cheap stuff. You can just replace. He just holds down the I don't know what button it is because I play grid. Z, yeah, Z, holding down the Z key, you know.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of sentries here, so there's a lot of like opportunity for force fields, and immediately Nameless evacuates.
Yeah, he's out of there. There's no way he can compete with this. He's been going hard on the drones here. He's like 10 drones ahead. But this is a pretty significant amount of army from a 2-basing Protoss here. Ooh, Disruptor getting caught out in a little bit of front here, not using any of the force fields just yet. Mostly just trying to win by brute force, and he does. It works out.
Wow, GG. I was a little bit concerned because I'm like, yo, the Warp Prism isn't here to like help like micro the disruptors or anything like that. And you know, StarDuck was losing some of them, but as you pointed out, Nameless, he was kind of caught droning.
Yeah, he was going really hard on the drones, and a 2-bracing Protoss can be pretty threatening in terms of the army count. Like he was like chock full of stalkers. He had a hell ton. He had a hell of a lot of sentries, and you know, 2 disruptors and a Colossus. That's a lot of AOE.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just quickly looking at the units at the end game graphic, and it was Nameless had made like something like almost 80 drones by the end of it, and StarDuck like 50. Like he was just chilling.
Yeah, he was just way up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Game 1, going to StarDuck.
Yep. And game number 2, as I'm quickly setting it up, will be on Death Aura.
Ooh. It's the edgy map.
The edgiest of all the maps.
Yeah, Death Aura. DTH. Nope, that's not how death is spelled.
What? What are you doing? What?
I don't know. Listen, I'm kind of losing it. Don't worry about it.
Oh god, it's fine, it's fine. We're just getting ready, making sure the players are ready as well as they are joining the lobby. Nameless, Nameless, please.
Okay, he's good. He's good.
Cool, cool. And yeah, we didn't get to talk too much about it, but StarDuck, he's like the new rising talent in the Australian scene. I know, like me and Steel and Yaku, we're all really excited to see how he does because he's worked his way up over the past year. You know, he's Masters 1 now, and he's actually taken games off of GMs in the scene.
Yeah, he's been like shooting up in terms of like his skill level and where he's at in terms of like his MMR. Like I remember like 5 months ago maybe he was like 4K, and now he's M1.
Yeah.
It's kind of absurd how fast he's like gone up. Like he could be the next. I think he could be the next probe. But anyways, here we are on Death Aura LE. LE, of course, if you weren't aware, stands for ligament extension. That's like when you get longer ligaments. What a ligament is, I don't know. I just know the word. It's like a leg or something, right? A ligament. Anyway, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Protoss. Of course, playing for a fight for justice and hailing from the land of Australia. His name is StarDuck.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Singaporean Zerg player representing Team GDA. It is Nameless.
The man with no name.
The man with no name. How sick is that, by the way?
What is? What?
Like speaking of like a little bit edgy, like your name is Nameless. Like that's
Yeah.
He's
like the horse with no name, but he's a man with no name. You know that song? It's like the horse with no name. Something.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's him. That's Nameless.
Yeah. He's the horse with no name.
Oh, God.
The openings of like at most matchups that aren't PvZ are quite boring. When the standard, it's just the same thing. I gotta fill the time, right? And I don't have the brain cells to like talk about interesting, you know, smart stuff like strategies and openings. There's a Stargate. Cool. He's gonna build an Oracle and a Phoenix, and he's gonna go across the map and start killing drones. And then there's gonna be queens and some spores. The queens are gonna push the Oracle away. He's gonna get 2, 3, maybe 3 drones. And he's gonna get out, and then he's gonna start working towards his probably gateway heavy comp, or he's gonna go towards the Colossus, knowing StarDuck. You know, the Colossus, maybe like Phoenix or Void Rays, and then he's gonna try and take a fight at about 3 bases.
And Nameless, he's a horse. God damn it, Jet.
Listen, PvP has like 3 or 4 ways it can go if it's a standard game. There's the Oracle.
There's
right?
the Oracle. All right, so something that you said, but that you left out, and I'm hoping that StarDuck is one to mess around with it, is the Void Ray, because we have been seeing Void Ray openers a lot more commonly in recent times, but StarDuck, he has his own style, so I'm curious.
He has a unique style. Like obviously he's a very strong standard player, but the way he plays standard is different. Yeah, like I said, Stargate openers, especially Stargate openers, are very, very much like, yeah, there you go, Void Ray
Yeah,
instead
there
of
we go.
Phoenix, which is interesting, but you know, perfectly viable with the changes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Stargate openers in ZVP always play out basically the same. Like you can cast it with a blindfold.
I would tend to agree, except for like game one though. Like he didn't
Yeah.
go for a Stargate or a Twilight Council. He went for Disruptor drops, which is why we love StarDuck. It's great.
Yeah, he didn't even go Twilight Robo. Okay, he's actually killed quite a few drones here. What did 5 drones come from? Hello?
I think he had an adept like sneak in.
Oh, okay. But the Oracle itself got 2 kills, as I predicted. He's going more Void Rays, which is also what I predicted, because, you know, Stargate opener.
Yeah.
Here he is again. More spores, more queens. He's gonna chase it away. It's only gonna get 2 total kills. He's gonna vibe in this like dead space. We've got a Roach War on the way. 3 bases. StarDuck not going for his 3rd base. Oh no, never mind. I looked at the wrong base. He is going for 3rd base.
Yeah, and this is what I was curious about. I was curious to see what StarDuck was going to throw down after he killed the Void Rays, because you could totally do something cheeky like throw down a 2nd Stargate.
Double Stargate. That's definitely a follow-up to a Stargate opener. You know, most of the time Stargate opener, you go into like a standard late game comp. You know, you've got your Archons, you've got your Immortals, you've got your Sentries. But this is, you know, the other way that Stargate opener can go.
Yeah, and this has become a lot more popular in recent times because of the Void Ray buff. Like, this has become a lot more viable, and we do see +1 flyer taxes on the way as well. And
He's going Sky Toss.
oh, yep. Yeah, we were talking about the carriers earlier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here they are. Well, not yet, but, you know, the Void Rays. He's gonna go Void Rays, and then he's gonna go into the carriers. He's probably gonna, you know, get his Archons and High Templar for the AoE. You know, standard Sky Toss stuff.
Standard Skytoss stuff. I'm really curious to see how StarDuck plays this out, because there are different ways that you can do this. You can transition into carriers. I've seen a couple of Protoss players, instead of going carriers, going straight into Tempest. And actually like utilize the new Tempest like building attack upgrade. You like get a hit squad of Tempest, like you go in, you snipe the lair, and then you go out. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, Tempest. I think Tempest are just like underrated units because they're so expensive. They fire so slow, but like they're pretty good. Like the amount of range they have is insane. They outrange a Thor.
Yeah.
I think they're 13 range or 14 range or something. I think because Thor's a 12 range, right?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
I don't
Thor's
think.
a 12. Brulod's a 9. Yeah, and Tempest are like more than 12 is what I remember.
Yeah, I recall like Tempest range being like nerfed in the past because of how long it was, and we'll see what he decides to go for, because he actually threw down a 3rd Stargate as well, so he has triple Stargate production, and that Fleet Beacon's finally on the way as well.
Yeah, he's gonna. He might go for Flux Veins while he's gathering up his Golden Armada, but for now, just a ton of Void Rays. Void Rays are good. They're annoying as hell, especially with Flux Veins.
Yeah, incredibly annoying. And we've been looking a lot at StarDuck, but now Nameless, like, what does a Zerg player do in this position? Because he has very limited scouting information. He hasn't seen the additional Stargates or the Fleet Beacon.
Yeah, StarDuck is doing a really good job of just containing him to his bases. Like, he's keeping the creep in check. He's containing like the scouting. He like Nameless doesn't know a lot, which is even more towards StarDuck's advantage, because Nameless doesn't know whether StarDuck is committing or if he's just using to harass, and he is committing. All right, 2 carriers on the way, +2 air, Flux Veins, a 4th base coming up. Like, this is committed, all right.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you said it. As he is transitioning into the carriers, he is getting Flux Veins to support his Void Rays, so they can be even stronger, even faster here. They're going to be so fast, especially on this map because of the speed zones as well. It's going to be insane. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. All right, so Mass Hydra is the response, which I think is the correct response. Against Void Rays. Like, once the carriers come out, he's gonna need Ruptors, and I don't think he has a Spire yet. No, he doesn't. Once he sees the first carry, though, he's definitely gonna slap down that Spire because he needs to. It's just a massive shield batteries here, by the way.
Yeah, and this is such an interesting style from StarDuck because a lot of the time when a Protoss player does this, he goes straight into Templar Archives and they support this army with Storm to counter the Hydras, but no, StarDuck is just going straight Sky.
Yeah, he's not going for that at all, which is very interesting. Knowing how many Hydras he had, because the Hydras are just tearing through the Void Race. He baited out the Super Shield battery. Never mind, the carriers are here, and Void Rays are really good. I lied.
Oh my god, it was so important for StarDuck to take the fight here because he had the overcharge, he had the shield battery, he had the cannons, everything he needed to take that fight.
And he won it. Like, super battery is really good. Well, he did use the super battery before the fight. Actually happened because Nameless poked in to bait it out, and it worked out perfectly in his favor. But he still wasn't able to win the fight because the carriers showed up. And Hydras are really good against Void Race, not against carriers because of the interceptors. It's very hard to fight carriers with Hydras.
Yeah, definitely. And there's so much site defense here. So even though Nameless is slowly chewing through it, it buys enough time for StarDuck to come on over from his third base as well, push the army back, and
those flux veins, Void Rays is so fast. Oh, it's crazy.
It's absolutely insane. And eventually we do see Nameless. He is throwing down a Spire, but it's kind of late. You know, he's already lost so many Hydras.
He had no idea that the carriers were coming. Like he didn't know they were coming, and he couldn't get the Spire down early enough. And now the carriers are getting a critical mass. Critical mass.
They're getting critical.
Yeah. That's that YouTuber.
Sure? Question mark? Oh god. And StarDuck, like, I love that he is finally, you know, coming up with a plan B just in case he gets hard countered. Like, he is transitioning into charge lots. Storm is on the way as well. Like, eventually he's gonna have like the ideal Protoss army.
Oh yeah, those charge lots just absorbing hits, you know, pushing the ground army back. You've got the Storm for the Hydras. Hydras melt in Storms. Like, they just disappear. And the charge lots would also provide a great buffer for the High Templar and Archons, while the Sky Toss just death ball just flies around and kills stuff, you know? In Warhammer, we call this a Death Star. It's just a ball of buffs and damage and AoE, and it's unstoppable.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. Like, at this stage of the game, a lot of people are like, well, just don't let the Protoss get here. It's like, mate, I mean...
what can you do when Void Rays are that good?
Yeah, I was about to say that, like, this was the point of the patch. The point of the patch was to make it easier for Protoss players to get to this point, to transition from Void Rays into that Skytoss army.
Yeah, the Void Rays just contain... Oh, what are these carriers doing here? Oh, they're dead. But it's no matter because the rest of the fleet is here. Who called in the fleet? The Golden Armada shows up, just pushing in on this Hydra army. And like, there's so many Hydras here, but there's so many more interceptors. Charge lots in the front. The Storm's taking down all of the health bars. Oh, all this stutter stepping can't really do much here, Light.
Exactly, and the Spire finished a while ago, but we have seen 0 Corruptors, just pure Hydra, and you just can't do that against a Protoss, so you have to diversify, and it just wasn't enough here for Nameless.
Yeah, mass Hydra's good, but not against this many carriers, and that's it. The G coming out from Nameless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is that? What was that?
This is my version of Yaku's audio bit. I have my own audio bit now.
Oh god.
Trust me, this wasn't at all influenced by Yaku. I just thought of the idea before the cast and was like, this would be pretty funny. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh god.
Yes, sir. StarDuck takes it 2-0. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're welcome, folks.
Oh boy.
Good game though.
It was. It was a really good way to start us off and to like showcase StarDuck and like his versatility in this matchup.
Absolutely.